Good evening, folks. Thank you for joining us. Our program will begin shortly as we wait to allow participants to join us from the waiting room. As folks are joining us, just a quick reminder that tonight's session is being recorded. Throughout tonight's session, please feel free to utilize the question and answer feature located at the bottom of your screen. Just a few reminders when utilizing that tool, please do not share any personal information, and you may submit questions anonymously. We will address as many questions as we can, including a live Q&A at the end of tonight's session. Again, please feel free to utilize that question and answer tool anytime throughout tonight's session. Good evening, and thank you so much for joining us tonight for the third and final virtual Homecoming Family Weekend session. Cheers to the last year. My name is Dan Perez. I am the program coordinator for the Office of Parent and Family Programs, and it's my pleasure to not only host all of you wonderful family members of graduating senior students of the class of 2022, but also these extraordinary panelists I have tonight to share all the information they have on how they support your student or interact with your student during their final year here at UC San Diego. Again, I just really want to give you a shout out for taking the time tonight to spend with us to learn all the ways you can support your student in their final year here at UC San Diego. And before I let the experts take over, I do want to just review the purpose of tonight's session. Tonight, you will learn how a student's last year differs from the rest of their journey here at UC San Diego, financially, socially, and also the opportunities that are made available to graduating senior students. You'll hear from the resource centers and communities within UC San Diego, how they celebrate their students with unique commencement ceremonies, and you will discover how UC San Diego supports students in preparing to become alumni. Now, like I mentioned, we've got a ton of experts with us tonight. You'll be able to meet and hear from all of them. So without further ado, I would like to hand it over to our first presenter, Andrew Wilder from the Student Financial Solutions Office.
All right, good evening, everyone. Thanks so much for being here tonight. My name is Andrew Weidler. I work at Student Financial Solutions, which is the primary billing department on campus. I'm an analyst there at SFS and work closely with our marketing and outreach opportunities, such as presentations like this. So again, thank you for being here, and we'll move on to the next slide. So first and foremost, here in your final year, it's always important to be monitoring your student account, but especially in this last year, one of the last things that you're going to want to have to worry about as you move closer to graduation is dealing with accounts and charges on your student account. A reminder that we do charge and assess fees on a monthly basis at UCSD. So bookstore charges, printing fees, ID card replacement charges, anything like that will and can come up during the last year. And so that's something you're going to want to make sure you're monitoring on a monthly basis and making sure you get those all those charges taken care of and paid off, so you avoid any unnecessary holds and late fees. Again, that's probably one of the last things that you're going to have to deal with as you move towards graduation and moving on towards the next chapter of your life. So please be sure you are monitoring your account. And as always, if you have questions about charges that you might receive, you can reach out to our office at any time. We would be happy to walk you through the payment process and explain any of those fees. Next slide, please. So updating your current mailing address, this one is super important. Again, your last year, there's probably going to be a lot of important information and communication that gets sent out to you directly via physical mail. So you want to make sure that your current mailing address is updated on Triton link. It's a super simple process to update a mailing address. If you just log into your Triton link and under personal information, there is the option to update a mailing address. Again, you want to make sure that that is updated and correct, so you or your family receive the correct information and communication from the university. All right, next slide, please. If you have taken out any campus-based loans, such as the Dream Loan, university loans, Perkins loans, you will be required to complete exit loan counseling towards the end of the year. You will receive an email notification to your UCSD email address with instructions and next steps for completing that exit loan counseling. There's also going to be outreach efforts from our office, from our loans team, to offer exit loan counseling sessions, walkthroughs, and further assistance, especially in spring quarter. So keep an eye out for those events and those opportunities to make sure your exit loan counseling is complete. If you do have any questions before then, or as you receive the notifications to complete that counseling, we do have a specific loans related email address for our office. You can see it there on the bottom of this slide. It's going to be exits@ucsd.edu, and one of our loan counselors will be able to help you and give you any assistance you need as you work towards completing that loan counseling. If you do not complete your exit loan counseling, you can receive a hold on your account. That is just gonna be one extra thing that you're not gonna have to deal with once you graduate and as you move forward in your lives. All right, next slide, please. And lastly, for graduation related fees, a really important distinction that I want to point out is that when you register for commencement, those fees, those associated fees, will be due by the next billing due date. So if you register for commencement earlier on in the process, once it first becomes available, those fees will be expected to be paid by the next due date. So grad related fees won't be due on or before or near the commencement time itself. It's going to be due on that next billing due date. Similar to your cap and gown, if you decide to charge those fees to your student account, they will be due by the following due date. So if you sign up to get that in March, it's going to be due on that April billing due date, not in June or whenever commencement actually takes place. So a really important distinction to take note of, especially because this isn't going to be taking place for another couple of months here down the road. So please keep this in mind that once you do sign up for commencement, or if you charge those cap and gown to your student account, that you continue to monitor your account. Again, going back to that first slide, super important to be checking that regularly to see what fees you have due and to make sure you pay them by the due date so you avoid unnecessary late fees and potential holds. All right, we can move to our last slide. So this is just a quick contact us slide for Student Financial Solutions. We have a couple different great ways of reaching out to us. Our best contact method is going to be our online case portal. So it's the services and support portal for UCSD. And you can access the cases by going to support.ucsd.edu/students. If you are a parent or family member who have questions for us, the best way to reach us is emailing us at sfs@ucsd.edu. I'm sorry, I don't have that email address on this slide, but again, parents and family members can contact us at sfs@ucsd.edu. We have a phone line. We operate Monday through Friday, 8 to 4. And we do have an Instagram page at UCSD SFS where we will post periodic updates, billing due date reminders, and other fun events like that. So thank you so much, and I'll hand it over to the next panelist.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Andrew. So it's with my pleasure that I would like to introduce Peter, the director of the UC San Diego Bookstore.
Hi, Dan. Thank you for the introduction. So for students graduating this upcoming summer, we recommend that you visit the UCSanDiegoBookstore.com website, which is posted on this slide right here. We will have information starting in March on some of the things that are revolving around commencement and the details that goes with it. On the actual link itself, if you click on our website, you will be able to find a Grad Central tab on the homepage. That homepage will give you information on the 2022 commencement activities. The bookstore will be offering grad products on site as well as online during that time. Grad products available to purchase consist of bachelor, master, doctorate, cap, gown, tassels, and hoods, as well as diploma frames, announcements, class rings, grad sashes, as well as class of 2002 apparel and gifts. Can you move the slide? Perfect. Early each May, the bookstore puts together a grad fair. The grad fair occurs over 3 days from 10 o'clock to 6 p.m. daily. Normally runs between Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday outside the bookstore. At the actual grad fair, you're going to find our grad vendors and campus partners answering questions regarding graduation and commencement events. Also, they'll be showcasing products. You'll be able to find information regarding your ticketing, commencement parking, career services, as well as alumni offerings and much more situations there. The grad fair is also an excellent time for you to secure grad products at discounted rates. You're able to purchase grad items in bundles, which will help you save between 10 to 20%. UC San Diego students will also have the opportunity to win some grand prizes that we're going to have at the grad fair. These prizes consist of iPads, diploma frames, class rings, announcements, alumni products, a lot of different things there, but it's not just an event where you're able to purchase, but you're also able to kind of win some really grand prizes. Can you move to the next slide? As commencement information becomes available from the campus, we make sure that we link that to our website, which will be on our Grad Central tab. It will have information regarding location and times for individual college ceremonies, parking information, grad tickets. If there's any COVID requirement situation presented at that time, they'll have that information on there. And then the books will also update additional things with details such as special promotions and activities at that time also. At the actual Grad Central site, you'll be able to find links that will help you kind of find different information on services that are provided by our campus partners. The bookstore itself will be open on commencement weekend from 9 o'clock to 4 p.m. We'll also have a tent situated on the commencement field to assist graduates, families, and guests with questions and purchases. And at this time, I just want to thank everybody for your time this evening. The bookstore and its campus partners looks forward to servicing your grad needs this upcoming year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Peter. All right, now it's my pleasure to hand it over to my colleague from the Raza Resource Central, Claudia Martinez Ortiz.
Yes, hi y'all. Claudia Martinez. I am the Assistant Director for the Raza Resource Centro. And this is a great segue. The Raza Resource Centro is one of 7 campus community centers and programs. And understanding that LATINX, CENTRO students on campus tend to be the first ones in their family to graduate. And there's a cultural aspect and a language aspect to take into consideration. We host the annual CENTRO and LATINX graduation. It is culturally relevant. The entire graduation is done in bilingual, in English and Spanish. I am the one who does everything in Spanish. Each student's name is read out loud in Spanish, including with their degree. And it does not replace the main commencement. So this is a question that we get often. So students have to opt in to participate into this graduation. It is part of commencement weekend, and folks are able to participate and then go on to their college graduation or to the main commencement graduation. Students who do participate in our graduation receive a sash, which you see right there on your screen, and it's completely free of charge. And so when is this, you might ask? And so we'll see that in the next slide. Our graduation is on Friday, June 10th at 3 p.m. And so pending COVID regulations, this is, as of right now, it's scheduled to be in person, but once again, things can change. We did have it virtual for the past 2 years. When it is virtual, students still receive the graduation sash and their names are still being called out through a live virtual broadcast. Registration will open on January 2022 through our website. There is a very strict deadline, and that the deadline is going to be at the beginning of April. And that is because we do have to order the custom made sashes that do have the date and the year on the, the year and the university name on it. There is a picture of our event right there, very different from other graduations on campus. We do not have tickets, meaning if a student has 12 family members to bring, go ahead. We have had students who bring up to 25 folks from their families. We don't have a problem with that. We don't have a problem with being loud and people bring their pots and pans y las cazuelas. They invite grandma, grandpa, la abuela, la abuela. Everybody is welcome. So once again, information will be available on our website, raza.ucsd.edu within the next month, and the registration opens in January 2022.
Thank you, Claudia. I'd now like to introduce my colleague from the Black Resource Center, Kyler Nathan.
Awesome. Thank you, Dan. And good evening, everyone. My name is Kyler Nathan, and I use he, him, his pronouns. I am the Facilities, Operations, and Events Coordinator for UC San Diego's Black Resource Center, also an alumnus of UC San Diego. And it is my pleasure to be able to chat with y'all about the Black graduation ceremony. I'd also like my colleague, Jay Rice, to introduce himself as well.
Hi there, my name is Jay. I'm the Assistant Director of the Black Resource Center, and I use he, him pronouns. It's wonderful to be here with all of you.
Awesome, man. Going to be talking to y'all briefly just about the Black graduation ceremony, echoing a lot of what my colleague Claudia mentioned about their graduation ceremony. The Black graduation ceremony is an opportunity for our Black identified students to have a celebration with their peers who they've gone through this UC San Diego experience with. Our ceremony this coming spring will take place on Friday, June 10th, 2022 at 6 p.m. and it is open to students at all levels. So the graduation ceremony consists of our undergraduate students, but also our graduate and professional students, whether they're pursuing their PhDs, EDDs, master's degrees, professional degrees, whatever the degrees our students are pursuing, we honor all of our students. And echoing what Claudia said, we don't do tickets for our graduation ceremony either. We don't believe in holding your applause until the end. As soon as your student goes across the stage, they can hit their dance move, they can throw a Black Power fist, whatever it may be that they want to do to just really shine in that moment and receive the praise that they so do deserve from all of their hard work throughout their years at UC San Diego. We want the whole family to be there because it is a family affair. So once again, whether you have 12 aunties and uncles that want to come, I think I was looking at some of our prior years. We actually had a student who brought like 30 guests to the Black grad ceremony. Whoever wants to come celebrate your student, they're invited to come. During the ceremony, we have our remarks provided by our senior leadership, faculty, staff, graduates, continuing students, alumni. We also hand out awards to some of the folks who were integral parts of these student experiences. And each of our students receive a Kente stole, which you can see the back of one on this picture. And if you go to the next slide, you'll also see some students who have their Kente stoles as well. Registration for Black grad opens in January 2022. You can register to attend Black grad beginning in January on the BRC's website. And once again, it's just a great opportunity for our students to celebrate with their peers. We typically have African drummers who lead the procession of graduating students to the staging area and to the seats. Just making sure that the event is as celebratory as possible. And in terms of some programming specific to our graduating students, I was going to have our assistant director talk to you all a little bit about some of those opportunities.
Yeah, so overall, we are in the business of making sure to assist in setting you all up for success. And to do that, we do have some programs that are open to everyone, yes, but we really do want to emphasize the presence of our graduating students, that being a LinkedIn workshop, just because it is a great networking platform that can be utilized in a lot of different ways. It could also be utilized to job search, but we want to be in partnership with someone from LinkedIn, which is something that we are working on. We'll be looking at doing some interview preparation. One of our upcoming job talks specifically that will be with Merrill Lynch. We actually hope they will talk about the interview process specifically for the finance sector, just because we do know that there's some folks that have interest in going into that field. We want to do some resume preparation, of course, and also have alumni mixers, one of which we're going to be having this upcoming Friday, which is the Black Alumni Mixer for homecoming. Also open to ideas that you might have for programming and just other opportunities that will help you feel as though you are ready to take that next step post-graduation.
Yeah, and one thing I did want to kind of reemphasize from what my colleague Claudia mentioned as well, the Black grad ceremony doesn't take the place of like the main commencement ceremony. It's just another opportunity for our Black students to have a graduation ceremony that's specific to their cultural experiences, specific to their heritage, and being around students who they shared a lot of their UC San Diego experience with. When I was a student, it was one of my fondest memories during my time on campus, just being able to see folks I was in BSU with, going to hang out with, and just to see other folks that look like me. Being a first generation college graduate student, coming to a campus that didn't see a lot of folks that look like me, it was important for me to just have kind of that reassurance that we made it to this point, we did it all together. And there's nothing like walking across that stage and being able to have so many of your family members in the audience. I think that's an understated part of some of the cultural graduation ceremonies, is the fact that we don't require tickets to the ceremonies, because you can have all of your community members, as many as you would like to come, be there to support you. But with that, just want to thank y'all for allowing us this opportunity to share with you all about the cultural graduation ceremonies, and I will hand it back over to Dan.
Thank you so much, Kyler, and thank you so much, Jay. Now I would like to introduce two of my colleagues from the alumni office here on campus, Kiana and Tyler.
Hi, everyone. My name is Tyler Pengraft. I'm the Assistant Director of Student Engagement and Philanthropy in the Alumni Office. I'm also an alumna of class of 2012, and I was a sixth college graduate.
Hi, everyone. My name is Kiana Alzate. I work with Tyler and the alumni team. I work with the Gold alumni from 0 to 10 years out, anyone that's an undergraduate or a graduate alumni.
Awesome. So today I'm going to talk to you a little bit about your senior year. Kiana kind of covers that beyond part. So we're going to tag team in sharing what resources you have available to you right now through the alumni office and what resources you'll have available to you in the future. Next slide, please. So this is going to be you soon. You are in the home stretch, and I can tell you based on my own experience, it goes by in a flash. So some things that we want to make sure that you get crossed off your bucket list, so to speak, I'll go over on the next slide. So attend a Meet the Boss event. Meet the Boss is a program that's offered by Student Foundation, and each quarter there's something that's topical about a particular industry. This quarter will be focusing on engineering, if we have any engineers on the call, specifically computer engineering. But if that's not your gig, you have no interest, be on the lookout for future events. The other big thing that's coming up is Take a Triton to Work. Hopefully some of you have participated in that. If you haven't, definitely look into participating in it. It's taking place during winter quarter, the break between fall and winter quarters. So, Christmas, but you can pretty much set that up anytime that you want with an alumni that's in your field at a company that you might be interested in working at. Attend alumni orientation. So that is going to be coming up in spring quarter for you. And essentially what that is kind of a little bit of a recap about what we're talking about today, but it'll go more in depth about how to access those resources, when's an appropriate time to get those resources, as well as kind of a community building opportunity for all of you to gather with other seniors. And then there's the opportunity to make a senior class gift that's meaningful to you. I personally support scholarships on campus. That's where my passion is. That was my passion as a student. It's my passion as a staff member. So, and that every dollar counts. Every drop in the bucket means something to somebody somewhere on campus. File your DDA. You'll probably hear this so many times, but file that DDA. That is different than registering for commencement. So make sure that you contact your college just to make sure that you're on track to graduate, no surprises. And that, like I said, that commencement registration is a different portal for you. So 2 things that you need to do in order to, cross the thing off the list and get out the door. Next slide, please. And then once you get out that door, this is what you have waiting for you on the other side. 40% or 41%, I think actually, of our graduates are graduates of the last decade. That's the last 10 years. And my colleague Kiana is going to talk to you a little bit more about that in just a sec. And then that's also including people across 60 distinct regions around the world. And so that alumni network is strong. And I can tell you that from my own experience to be the case. We have people who want to engage with our current students from all over the world and then, support you once you leave the university, because everybody who has graduated knows how rough that transition can be sometimes. And then what's really, I think, one of the more impressive numbers is that we actually have over 215,000 alumni of UC San Diego. So you are in a wide network of folks and you're in good company. And I think some of our alumni are some of the most passionate people, and they really want to see all of you succeed. So it's really a joy to get to work in the alumni office and see what that passion as a student turns into as an alumni. And I'm going to ask to turn it over to the next slide so that Kiana can share a little bit more with you about what it means to be a graduate of the last decade.
Right. So once you cross that line, once you graduate, you are in the Triton community officially forever. And the Gold community is recently formed and recently identified. So like Tyler and I said, any graduates from undergrad or from graduate programs in the alumni community are Gold. And one of the greatest things about my job is that I get to work with kind of what functions as a junior board, but they're called the Gold Steering Committee. And they do get to work with the alumni board, affinity councils, the alumni team members. And this is 19 of them. So far, we're still growing the alumni community. So once you graduate, I'm more than happy to talk to you about joining the committee. They are currently functioning in smaller subcommittees to help support things like student support and success, fundraising for those things, volunteering with those Triton table talks, Alumni 101. So you might see these faces or similar faces on some of those panels that you may attend or in your future as an alumni yourself. All of these people are super passionate about connecting the dots between the student experience to your recent grad experience to your alumni community experience. And I'm so excited about what they're going to be doing with all of you very, very soon. And if you have any questions about them, we're on the alumni website, so you can check out the website for Gold and reach out to any of these folks. They're all available on Triton's Connect, which we'll talk about later, and of course on LinkedIn. So reach out to me with any questions about that. And I will ask for the next slide to give you just a perspective on where all these alumni are. That's what Tyler said, about 200,000 alumni all over the world. And the Gold category, there's about 88,000 now. So there's plenty of them to support you. The second you leave, that family net, that alumni community net is there to catch you and support you in all of your endeavors, whether that's in career, whether it's in mentorship. Maybe you're interested in getting involved and back connected to the UC San Diego alumni community, which we're more than happy to help you do on the alumni team. There's plenty of us all over the place. And there's definitely a lot of different ways you can do it if it's specific to your division, your major, your industry, maybe some affinity group that you are a part of on campus. All of that is here for you on the alumni team. And I will kick it back over to Tyler for the next slide for regional clubs and networks.
Yeah, so our regional clubs and networks are really your opportunity once you kind of land wherever it is you're going to land. Some of us stay home, others move to new cities. The regional clubs are that support network for you in the city that you move to. We have alumni clubs or networks in pretty much every city or adjacent cities to every major city. And the activities that they do as part of a regular basis, they have quarterly events. So you'll see some of those events here, like the Triton 5K is coming up this weekend on Sunday. A lot of our clubs are participating as teams in the Triton 5K and running together. We also have global service projects. That's something that we usually do sometime like in winter quarter or that time frame. You know, once you graduate, you don't think about winter quarter anymore. You just think about winter. We also have our Triton welcome events. Some of you may have attended those in the past. And then they also have professional development events too. So it's really an opportunity to meet folks and do things that, you know, kind of get you in the Triton spirit, but also are very useful to you in terms of professional experience or just like having basic folks to reach out to in a new city. And they're all really great people. And if any of you want to be connected to any of them, you know where you're going to be. Please do reach out to me or Kiana so that we can put you in contact with them. Next slide, please. Yeah, and so thinking about the future, you know, we kind of think who are these alumni that are out there, and what are the potential careers that you can follow. And so, you know, we have here some of our more notable alumni. Kate Rubins, astronaut, Albert Lynn, who's like the modern day Indiana Jones, Milana Vaintraub, she's the AT&T girl, but you know, that's what we all know her as, but she's a proponent of, you know, women's voices and really fights for women to have equal say in the entertainment industry. And Alicia Garza, who was our most recent commencement speaker, and Ted Fu, who was actually my 6th college commencement speaker many years ago. So we have an amazing network of really impressive people. And just because there are people who aren't on this slide doesn't mean that they do anything that's less amazing. Kiana and I, every single day, we get to talk to alumni who are just so impressive and so groundbreaking in their fields and so willing to help. So once again, I am saying, if you want to be connected to anybody, go ahead and reach out to us. I put that offer out there, and I think I've had a total of maybe 4 people take me up on it this year. So please do reach out. Next slide. Okay, and I'm going to turn this back over to Kiana to talk about first year out bucket list, because this kind of falls under her purview.
Awesome, thanks, Tyler. I will say some of the Gold Steering Committee members, just like Tyler said, the moment you decide that you want to connect with any of them, even those Gold Steering Committee members, if they're not like the truest fit for you in terms of career or interest or what have you, they also have their own networks of alumni that they're still in touch with. So you're really just going to stay connected and more connected and get deeper into the network the more you reach out. And they're so eager to connect with students, connect with Tyler's group of students and Student Foundation. So honestly, anytime that you do want to connect with someone or have any questions about something, please reach out. It always helps. And I've talked to a couple alumni who have done that, and it's just been so beneficial for them. And they feel like they have, you know, a home anywhere, depending on where they are in the world. And I forgot to mention that the Gold Steering Committee, there's only about 3 of them of the 19 that are still in San Diego, and the rest of them are all over the country. So they're there for you if you move home, or if you decide to move, or if your job moves you, whatever it is. I do want to just mention that because it's a great, great community to be a part of. And now we'll move on to the first year out bucket list. So I want to make sure that the more you reach out, obviously that's the first step, but get connected with your alumni email for life. And make sure you update your contact info with us so that we can send you emails about things that are going on campus, any opportunities for you to join a panel or volunteer, or maybe get involved with something that's going on in your region. Follow us on Instagram at UCSD Alumni. And then all of your events are free for your first year out. So you have plenty of opportunities to see what's going on in the community, what other alumni are up to in their careers, maybe in their region, or across the globe, all of those things. And then there's plenty of benefits, like I mentioned before. The more you reach out and the more you ask to get connected, we have all of those contacts for you, and the alumni board, affinity councils, Gold, everybody is so eager to connect with you and support you through your career and life journeys. So stay connected with us and go visit the alumni.ucsd.edu/new grad site so you can go through the first year out bucket list and make sure you get all these boxes checked as you are on your way into the alumni community. And I will kick it back over to Dan.
Thank you, Tyler and Kiana. So one of the things that I want to highlight for all of our graduating seniors, and even if you're a family member of a first year or a second year or a third year on this call, and you're just being really preemptive to get in the know now before your student is ready to graduate, is to have your student make sure they have registered and they have their profile active on Triton's Connect. Triton's Connect is our university's own LinkedIn network, if you want to put it that way. The possibilities on Triton Connect are to not only find a alumni mentor, be able to search the directory of all the UC San Diego alumni and current students that have Triton Connect profiles, become a part of different affinity groups or groups that are tied to programs here at UC San Diego or even areas of study or career fields. Be in the know for all the events that are happening for alumni, but also events that may be happening from either the Career Center or the Alumni Office for current students. Again, it's for all UC San Diego Tritons. So that is not just current students, but any alumni of UC San Diego have access to tritonsconnect.com. So this is something your student does not have to wait to do. They may already have a Triton's Connect profile, but if they do not, please refer them to tritonsconnect.com to make sure that they are getting connected. You can see this is kind of what the layout looks like for Triton's Connect. It is, again, its own social media network. It connects all UC San Diego alumni with current students. Again, you can see how you can connect with suggested mentors. You can search for mentors. You can request mentorship. And you don't have to stop at one. You can search mentors by different functions, be it job, be it major or program of study. That's all available to Triton Connect members. You can also search by jobs. Sometimes there are jobs posted on Triton's Connect, so there's a wide array of opportunities for your student to look through. Again, it operates very similar to LinkedIn, but this is basically a closed network that allows only those who are UC San Diego students or alumni to participate in. And as you can see, you can connect with other departments or groups on campus that do have Triton Connect groups and or pages. And so before we get into our live Q&A, I just want to reemphasize the importance of your student getting online on Triton's Connect, joining, becoming a part of that social media network. I know that students currently are always on some type of social media platform, but this is a beneficial one in connecting them with not only their fellow students here on campus currently during their final year here at UC San Diego, but also the extensive network of alumni that are on Triton's Connect. So again, if there's one thing you're taking away from tonight that you can have your student do immediately, it's making sure that they are connected on tritonsconnect.com. So I would like to ask for all of the panelists to join me on screen as we head into this live Q&A. Again, I want to reemphasize the question and answer function located at the bottom of your screen. Please feel free to post any questions you have, because we will be able to answer them to the best of our abilities in relation to your student's final year here at UC San Diego. So a question that came through from a few people that I know we've answered, but I'm going to throw it because I think, Tyler, you may have mentioned it, was what is a DDA?
Yeah, so the DDA is your degree and diploma audit. It's basically the go-ahead for you to graduate. So that's something that your college academic advisors actually will go over with you. I highly recommend scheduling an advising session with your college academic advisors to go over that in case you have any questions at all. But it is essentially that, yes, you've taken all the classes that you're supposed to take. You're in good standing, you're good to go, register for commencement, graduate, become an awesome alumni.
Awesome. Thanks, Tyler. A question from a family member, and I'm going to throw this to either Claudia or Tyler, whoever would like to take it, is, can a student participate in multiple commencement ceremonies, including multiple resource center commencement ceremonies?
Absolutely. So we try our very best to ensure that they don't overlap, which is why the CHILATs, so CENTRO LATINX graduation starts at 3. And then if folks identify and they want to join Black graduation, theirs starts at 6. So you can go to ours on Friday at 3, then jump over to the Black Resource Center's graduation at 6, and then college graduations start that Saturday and Sunday. So yeah, there's room for everything. You just have to make sure that you're ready to celebrate more than once and, you know, be excited.
Awesome. Thanks so much. So again, I know I have a few alumni on here, so feel free, whoever would like to answer this question, because you've all gone through commencement before, but a parent or a family member is asking that we've mentioned a college ceremony, we've mentioned a main ceremony, and we've mentioned, you know, the other ceremonies. Is there a ceremony for individual majors? And where are diplomas distributed? What ceremony is your student walking across and getting that diploma holder?
Yeah, I guess I can take this one. So there aren't necessarily individual ceremonies for departments. Some departments may choose to recognize certain graduates who graduate with honors from that department in a special, not quite a ceremony, but like a special event. And then the other question part of that was, the diploma, sorry. Diplomas are mailed to you. They'll be mailed to you or mailed to your student, depending on who's asking that question. So that's another reason why when Andrew was talking about updating that address, you really want to make sure that address is updated, because you don't want to miss out on getting that hard copy diploma a few months after you graduate.
Awesome. Thanks for that answer, Tyler. Andrew, I think this is more a specific question for you, is if a graduating student is attending exit loan counseling, can parents or family members attend with them?
Yeah, that's a great question. I would honestly have to defer that to our loans team, since they're the ones who handle those, but I would imagine and expect that parents or family members can join their student with on those sessions, since, you know, parents and family members often are just as involved in the loan process as the student is. I don't know though if they're going to be doing like virtual sessions or just in person by the time spring quarter rolls around. So that's going to be another important component for those sessions. But even if they're in person and parents aren't able to attend, I know our loan counselors would be more than willing to meet and speak with parents who have questions or need more information about that process.
Awesome. Thank you. A question, I think this is going to be directed for you, Peter, is if my student doesn't attend grad fair in person, can they still purchase the bundles and deals online through the UC San Diego bookstore?
Yeah, normally the major specials happen during the grad fair, where you're able to really take care of the majority of the savings. But outside of that, we'll still have bundle savings in the store. It might not be as grand as it is during the grad fair, but there's always incentives for people to kind of group their bundles together, you know, at that time.
Great, thank you. And with a follow-up is, does the bookstore have a vendor for graduation photos, for graduate photos?
You know, I think the photo component goes through special events. The bookstore hasn't been the one that coordinates that. So I think I want to say Jill Townsend is the gal that oversees that part of it, and I don't think she's on this call. So.
Oh yeah, that's always, I think, because I know that senior students will always get contacted about, oh, get your grad photos and who it is, and sometimes they want to know, is this really coming from the university? If or is this just somebody that knows I'm graduating and it's just a spam email? So again, I would say make sure you're checking not only UCSanDiegoBookstore.com to make sure you're in their Grad Central, but also frequent the commencement.ucsd.edu website that Peter mentioned earlier, so you can stay up to date. And again, I know that there's a few questions in the Q&A about, is there a whole campus-wide graduation ceremony? The graduation ceremonies here at UC San Diego are broken up by college. So graduates will be attending a Muir graduation, a Revelle graduation, a 7th college graduation soon, a 6th college graduation, and so on. There isn't a complete just the entire university at one time. One, because it's a very large university and space is not going to allow that to happen. And more details about commencement 2022, such as tickets, such as timing for those, will be released later on this year. So again, make sure that your student and you have bookmarked commencement.ucsd.edu, because that's where you're going to find the most up-to-date information. But again, for those commencement ceremonies that already have times and dates, could Claudia and Tyler, could you just remind folks, if they want to attend your ceremonies, what time those are?
Yeah, Friday, June 10th, 2022, the RRC will host TriLAT graduation at 3 p.m. As of right now, it's scheduled to be in person, and please check the website because we all know that COVID changes everything. So 3 p.m., June 10th.
And then same day for the BRC's Black graduation ceremony, Friday, June 10th. Check-in usually starts around 5 p.m. and the ceremony starts at around 6 p.m. And I forgot to mention it during the presentation, but we typically, in non-COVID years, have food at the Black graduation ceremony. It's usually catered through Felix's Barbecue with Soul. So hopefully this year we'll be able to resume that and give everybody some filled bellies before the ceremony starts.
Awesome. And then this question from a family member for Kiana is, how can my student get involved with the Gold Steering Committee?
Send me an email.
There it is.
Send me an email. Yeah, I'm happy to have a conversation. It's really simple. We just have a conversation. You can come to a meeting. You can meet some of them. We meet twice monthly solely because they can't always make the first meeting. So it's a great opportunity for you to get to know some of the members and see how you want to get involved.
Awesome. Again, the best way is just to get connected with Kiana. All right, a question that I do see is, can current seniors join Triton Connect? Yes, any student currently at UC San Diego can join Triton Connect. They can sign up right now. So if we end this session and you want to text your student, or if they are living with you, you go to their room, tell them they can get online and sign up and start tracking down a mentor. I want to thank all of you. I know there are some questions still left in the chat about main commencement and that commencement ceremony, the dates, the times, and those details. Again, that will be announced later this year. Please head over to commencement.ucsd.edu, bookmark it to stay informed. Again, some other websites that you want to make sure your student is getting in touch with is the UCSanDiegoBookstore.com to make sure that they're updated. Make sure they're checking if they want to participate with any of the community centers graduation ceremonies, like we heard from the BRC and the Raza Resource CENTRO today. Make sure they're checking their websites and getting connected with them. And again, always alumni.ucsd.edu is where your student who is looking forward to June and beyond will want to get connected. And one more time, trionsconnect.com is where your student can get connected, start finding mentors, look at jobs, and see how they can be connected, not only as an alumni, but as a current student. Thank you to my wonderful panelists for joining tonight's session and sharing your expertise and getting us excited about commencement and graduation in October during homecoming, when we're celebrating all the alumni and community members who are coming back to celebrate UC San Diego and the strong community we have. I want to thank you for your time tonight. Before I close this session, I do have a few housekeeping points I want to cover for our participants. So I know that this question has been asked many times tonight, but just so you all are aware that this session is being recorded and will be posted on our YouTube channel tomorrow. If you or another family member would like to rewatch this session with translated subtitles, you may do so utilizing the auto translate feature on YouTube. To do that, you pull up our recording on the YouTube channel, you select the settings, go to subtitles, select auto translate, and then you can choose any preferred language you would like for those subtitles to be translated into. So in order to make this session more accessible for folks that may not be, who would be more comfortable in a different language, you can have auto translated subtitles made available for you. Again, this recording will be posted tomorrow morning to our YouTube channel. And last but not least, you've seen it all over the place. It's in my virtual background. I'm hoping that some of you are registered for our in-person events this weekend, a part of Homecoming. We're excited to welcome just over 1,000 family members and students starting tomorrow for Parent and Family Weekend as a part of Homecoming. And I know that there are a few thousand students, families, community members, and alumni joining us for Homecoming this weekend. So hopefully we see you all here. And if you would like to stay connected with my office, the Office of Parent and Family Programs, please visit our website, parents.ucsd.edu. You can send us an email, parents@ucsd.edu, or you can stay connected with us on social media. We have a Facebook, a Twitter, and an Instagram account. And that last one right there, I've plugged it a few times tonight, but it's going to be really important. It's our YouTube channel, which is /UCSD Families, where you can find not just the recording of tonight's session tomorrow, the recordings from our previous 2 virtual sessions, Exploring and Studying Abroad and Paging Future Doctors, but any virtual session we've ever done has been recorded and posted to that channel. So you can go back. There's tons of information. You may see some familiar faces like myself or some of my panelists who have supported our efforts throughout the pandemic, connecting with and engaging with families virtually. So again, I want to say thank you so much to my panelists for joining me. Thank you for the staff supporting me technically on the BAT side. And thank you all, parents and families and students, for joining us tonight and taking time out of a very busy schedule to support your student on their upcoming graduation. So again, thank you so much. Hope to see you this weekend at Homecoming, and good night.